I got a homie, right? And my homie he's a cook. He's a chef. He do his thing. So he in this relationship where at first, you know, he was doing his thing, working jobs and shit like that. But his girl was she did lashes and shit like that, right? So she was kind of the breadwinner. She was going crazy with her business, super popular, all that type of shit. Bro was doing this thing. And what ended up happening is he started to cook and he just kind of went crazy. And over time he began to take off. And he became the breadwinner in the situation. But he was getting booked so much, he started getting booked out of town. And then when he started getting booked out of town, he asked this girl, like, man, I got bookings in town and out of town, so let me teach you how to cook and do what I do so we can serve everybody. So while I'm out of town getting money, we can still get money in town because you can take care of this, woo, woo.
Okay.
And her response was like, well, niggas, you gonna learn how to do lashes? Right? And I feel like her response should have been like, yeah, of course I'll do that for you. Like, it's not a tit for tat thing. Woo, woo. But I think that's the thing about submission. So we hear people talk about submission a lot on the internet, and people never talk about what it really look like in a relationship. We hear people complain that, you know, women don't submit and women don't do this, women don't do that. But we never really talk about, you know, we talk about why these things not happen on a very surface basic level, but we never talk about what submission actually look like in a relationship. And we never talk about, like, why aren't women doing this from a realistic standpoint? Because I think that women have a good reason not to.
Yeah. In
my opinion. But if they come across the right man, they got to kind of put all that shit behind them.
Yeah.
And do what they got to do. And go ahead and get down to lay down, as my nigga Beanie Siegel would say.
I get down to lay down. Ooh, that's harsh.
So submission, man. That's what we talking about today. Welcome to Terry Rosen Podcast, featuring Killer Cocktails.
Same old, same old. Anybody who's watching already knows Killer Cocktails on deck at all times. If you want to buy some, I mean, shit, slide in my DMs. Killer Cocktails on Instagram with a K. I'm back doing events. It's really getting warm outside, y'all. Like, today was just, you know, a little excerpt of, like, what's to come. Because, I mean, the next week about to be shitty. But, I mean, come April, like, you know, the weather is warming up. Events, birthdays are coming, all type shit. Fuck with me. I get your whole party drunk as hell for a great cost. So slide in my DMs. My DMs are not open, however, because he gonna say that right after this. Definitely I'm not with none of that shit. But if you want Killer Cocktails, let me know. Spring edition book. Also, I'm building it right now, so it's coming soon. And that's it. Y'all already know.
Facts. Shout out to Killer Cocktails. There's somebody at the door. You feel me? But shout out to Killer Cocktails, man. We definitely, you know, in full support of Killer Cocktails, and that's what we drinking all summer. And I'm back drinking a little bit. I ain't gonna go too crazy. You know,
make it very clear a little bit, because you know when you tell your friends you back drinking, you know they think like it's time to fucking go crazy.
I'm over the peer pressure shit. They tried.
Like,
they've been trying to hit me with.
Like, oh yeah.
I'm
like,
over the peer pressure shit. Those
relax.
days are behind me.
True.
You hear me? Those days are behind me.
Yeah.
So, getting on to this submission shit, man. Let's start off with the definition of submission. You know what I'm saying? We just had another submissive lady come through the door. Shout out to her. Hand claps. Shout out to her. You know. All right, man. So, definitions of submission. To submit means to either accept or yield to a superior force or the authority of another person, or to present a proposal to a person or body for consideration or judgment. All right. Mm-hmm. So to submit a proposal to somebody or to submit to a person's authority. Mm-hmm. I think those words, the language of that, triggers women.
Yes.
Triggers the fuck out of women.
Like,
so that's all we got to talk about.
Deeper than the definition, like you would definitely be like, oh hell no, right?
That's why we got to talk about what it actually looks like in a relationship. What's your attitude towards submission, Gam?
I mean, to be honest, like I am one of those people that would love to be submissive. Like I feel like that's my true nature. However, I've never been able to really acknowledge that true nature because I'm always put in a position where like I can't, like, no.
What position you being put in?
Just like a nigga not leading. Like, why would I submit to you? Like, literally. Like, why would I submit to someone who I don't feel safe or comfortable or, you know, so forth? Okay. Submission, that's so powerful. Like, it's very powerful. And you have to really be, like, holding a certain kind of weight. Like, doing a certain kind of thing for a woman to feel comfortable to submit to you.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. What type of things do you feel like shows that a man can lead though? In our current, and I
I
think it's
feel like in this current, like you were gonna say, in this current,
I think in our current age, I think it's important to acknowledge that we are grown now, but we just got grown.
yeah, facts.
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
like we can't act like
So,
we 50.
It's not like niggas been grown for a long time,
Right.
having their own shit for the last
Yes,
10
that
years with their
is
life.
true.
It's like niggas just coming into their own.
Yes, so that's
it's
what I
like-
was gonna say. Like the shit that I consider to be like a man worthy of submission is not like nothing like, oh my God, extravagant. Like, no, it's not. It's just a person that knows protection and knows safety and sees me as an asset to the point where he knows to protect me at all times. Like I'm just as important as anything else in his life that he sees as an asset.
Right.
That's what's most important for me when I see submission. If a fucking person where I feel like I can be with them at all times and I don't have to fucking look left or right, and I know that person would literally like put a motherfucker in the dirt if we really being honest.
So are we talking about physical? Or we talking
Submission
about,
is physical.
Yeah. I'm saying like we talking about
too.
protection though. You talking about like physical protection?
Physical protection is definitely main when you a woman.
Okay.
And a black woman. Like if I'm somewhere out with my nigga, a nigga might try it, and I need to know that
Right.
I don't have to pop off. Like you'll handle all of this, like whatever.
Right.
And then like in the household, like if I have kids with this person, or even if I don't, like just knowing that the household is like it's really protection.
What about
For
the
me.
emotional protection, like to protect you against bitches coming to you as a woman and shit like that?
Yeah, facts. I mean,
Yeah.
I hope a nigga wouldn't be like involved with any of that at all. But niggas be niggering. And you know, like, I would like if a motherfucker did respect me enough for it to not reach me.
Right.
You know? That's just speaking hypothetically. Like I said, I would hope that that's not the case.
So
but
they can smash other chicks as long as they just don't get back to you. We good.
as I was saying,
Heard
I
on
would
that.
hope that would not be the case. But
Okay.
if it just comes down to that, yes, I would want you to
At least
respect
be
me
a good
enough for
cheater.
it to not. Absolutely.
A good liar.
Bitches who really gold diggers and like just in it for the money but still don't want their feelings hurt. That's really how they feel.
Yeah.
So like that's not a new thing. Like that's
Right.
not. But no, I'm not with it. I would hope my nigga not cheating. But yes, if so, just don't let it reach me. But submission is that shit is powerful. And then like in the bedroom, that's a whole different story.
Absolutely.
So
All right. So do you think that like when we talk about submission and shit, like I just said, at our age right now, do you think women should even be submitting? Because I feel like niggas is just getting into they, you know what I'm saying? Getting
it's a
into
lot of
their
niggas
life.
that's not
And
just
it's a
getting
lot of
into
women.
nothing. It's a lot of niggas that's already in that shit. And I feel like if they worth submitting to, yes, at this age, if a nigga is worth submitting to, submit to his ass.
Okay. I feel like
I'm not
I feel
finna be like, oh shit, nigga, yeah, you, but you only 30.
I just feel like it's a
like,
lot of women
no.
that's still like getting their own shit together. So it
Because
might be
that-
time for them to do that, and then once they get that together, then
Okay,
they
so
should be
that's
looking to submit.
right.
maybe.
So that's simply just
You know what I'm
somebody that's
saying?
not even ready to submit to somebody. Because if I'm getting my shit together, but a nigga come around and he's worthy of submitting to, I can still submit to this nigga and get my shit together. And
Okay.
I'm not gonna let this nigga pass me by just because I'm still. This nigga gonna help me get my shit together. Actually, so like nah.
Okay.
So
I
a
fuck
bitch that
with
be like, oh no, I'm still getting my shit. Like, okay, you just not ready to submit. Like, you
Yeah.
need to get your shit together to submit. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Facts. My true attitude towards submission is like opposite of what's being said on the internet. Like I think women do submit. Every woman
They
I've
do.
dated, I never really had that issue. The only times I've had issues with women submitting is one or two things. One, I'm ambiguous about what our relationship is. So I'm basically putting you in a situationship. I'm not giving you a title. I'm not giving you this. Like no self-respecting woman is submitting to that.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the only time I've had an issue. And the other time is if we was in a relationship and then I betrayed the relationship and stepped outside the relationship.
Yeah, of
a lot of
course,
women, that's
Yeah.
now the submission shit is like.
That was
up.
my last situation.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, so it's like other than that, if I'm giving you a solid situation and I'm respecting the situation, I never really had a problem with a woman like kind of.
Yeah. And I
You
think
know?
that's kind of what comes with it. Like submitting, it's a lot of it that's like you can't bruise the situation.
Yeah.
Like the situation can't be bruised. Cause like I said, that was my last situation. Like I was more than willing to submit. Like I would have loved to do that. Like,
Yeah.
but when you bruise the situation, like when you do something that affects the situation in a negative way,
Yeah.
that kind of any woman like would be like, oh hell no, like there's no reason to submit to you.
It's
Right.
really
And the whole trajectory just changes. Go
I
ahead,
was gonna say,
sis.
it's like a literal, like, if you don't choose us, how you gonna lead us
How-
properly? Like, you
And
not
why would
choosing
I
us.
submit?
Exactly. Like, you
Right.
driving your car by yourself, and
That-
you want me in the fucking, not the passenger seat.
The
Your ass
trunk.
want me, no, you want me in that little, what's the thing with the open back? You
Look,
want me
look,
like,
the
dun,
hatchback,
dun, dun,
look,
dun.
look.
I'm
No,
not, no.
You feel me? So
Yeah,
it's just like that.
They're
It's
trying to
just
put
like
Remy in a car seat.
I'm not. So it's just it comes with how a man like literally takes care of the entire situation.
Yeah, I think on the young side, even before I was able to do anything for a woman, like even being young, I feel like the girls I dated was like submissive, or you know what I'm saying, they did what I needed to, like what I asked them to do, like it was cool. But like a chick married me, so I go to college. Like she
Right.
did what I asked her
Look,
to do. Like,
look,
you
and
know what
that's
I'm saying?
still
Like,
some of the cutest shit ever. I won't lie. Like, yeah.
I guess.
She, I mean, she really looked out for you. Like that's heavy. That's
yeah,
strong.
yeah. I
That's
was
why
very
you got
grateful.
married?
Yeah, I couldn't get in college.
I'm screaming
I
at
had
him,
to-
just
I
realized,
had some
just
shit
finding
going
this
on
out.
with my parents and couldn't. I couldn't get financial aid, so I had to go have a kid to get married. So I didn't want to have a kid. I ended up having a kid anyway. Shit. But
It did. Look, it did.
so yeah, she married me, so I go to college. So that, and you know, she didn't want to do that. That's not something that she wanted to do. Like nigga, we was like 19.
Looked out for you.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I think the reason why women was able to do that, even though I ain't have my shit together, is because I always kind of been good at giving advice, and like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
security some way.
yeah, emotional security. Like if you, it don't matter if you trying to figure out what's your next move in life, or whether you trying to, or whether you just got into it with your boss and you in the closet crying. Like I could like talk you through these situations. So I think like if you trust my opinion enough to where I'm the person you come to, then it's easy for you to kind of feel safe. I
get
guess,
that.
in that situation. What do you feel? What do you feel like the construct of like submission comes from? And so let me say first, Remy wrote the show. And
Yes, she did.
Remy,
Yes.
like the show, like
Yes,
the
clap. Put the
shit that she
clappers
got.
Your face is too confused.
Shout out to Remy. Shout out to Remy. Cause these talking points are like great.
Yeah, they are.
The talking points are really
They
good.
are.
Like I'm reading through this and like
Yeah.
getting paraphrased. So, what is the personal construct and imageries of submission stem from?
I would say like, to be honest, like it the imagery, like take me for instance, like growing up, like my mother is someone who, my mother did work. Now don't get me wrong, she worked, but it was never the aspect that my father worked. Like it was always just like something for her to do. Because
Pops had the bag, is what you're trying to say.
Definitely.
That's what it sounded like to
definitely,
me. Pops
my
had the
dad worked
bag.
for Ford for 45 years. Like
Yeah.
he started at 19 and he retired from there.
Nice.
Yeah. So like, yes, we grew up like
Well off.
I have no complaints whatsoever.
All right.
But my mom was very like dependent
Yeah.
on my father.
Yeah.
She literally only worked because she was bored. Like I would literally get out of school in high school, and I went to school on fucking 111th. So I would take the bus to 95th and take the train all the way to fucking Clybourne because my mom worked at the bank, and I would get off the train. We would go shopping. Like we would just do what the fuck ever, like
Right.
literally whatever, because she really didn't have to do what she was doing. She wanted to.
All right.
And I was a baby. Like me and my brothers are 8 and 10 years apart. So she could have been done after them, but here comes me, and like we have to like build this solid relationship, and I'm young as shit and she's old. My mom had me at almost 40.
Okay.
So her being submissive, like that was a life that today in this day and age only a motherfucker could dream of.
All right.
Working because they want to. Now that's this day and age, like that's starting a business for a bitch.
Right,
like
right,
being
right.
able to like run a business and like not have to do nothing else.
Right.
So seeing that was like, oh damn, like it's really like a reason. That's probably the only reason why I'm really open to still understanding that yes, there are men out here worthy of submitting to.
It's crazy, man, because I feel like black people is in this weird position in America, right? And I don't want to make this about something that it's not about, but we're in this position to where like we're in a patriarch society, but we're culturally a matriarch people. So it's kind of like
Absolutely.
in my family, like my grandfather was the breadwinner. My grandmother didn't work at all, but it was her house. Like there was no submission. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's grandma's house. She talk all the shit. She whoop all the kids. She do what the fuck she want to do. She kind of ran the whole fucking neighborhood.
So
honestly,
like,
similar. You know what I'm saying?
Actually, kind of similar. The only difference is like my grandma, like she was like a fucking asshole because like she did work.
Right.
So like she had money too.
Facts.
And she was like to my granddad, like
right.
Nigga, I don't need you type shit. Like fuck off. Like what the fuck? So like yeah, I get it. Like it's crazy.
I feel like even. And I feel like, I don't know, a part of it, like, my grandfather used to, like, cheat and do wild shit. Like, he was fucking the like, old lady down the street and shit like that. Mm-hmm. But, so that might be why she was kind of like the way she was as far as, like, bucking up in the crib. Because it was like, even when they used to get into it, it was like, this is, like, all the way grandma shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Not
like,
grandma shit.
I'll piss that nigga off. I'm not pissing her off. Like,
shit.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it was crazy. So,
yeah.
I don't know. And I don't know if that's, I don't know what's the story behind it is, but I didn't really see that growing up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even with my mom and dad, like, you know, my dad, like, they both worked. They both did what they had to do. My dad was more of the cook in the house. My mom was more, I was the cleaner.
You don't hear that often.
I was cleaning up. I don't know what mama was doing. Like, you know what I'm saying?
She was relaxing as she shall.
She was talking a lot of shit, too. But, yeah, I never really saw it. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. It's something that I'm not quite used to.
I was gonna say, in my family, like, my mama, like, got her own or whatever, but my dad was, like, the bread when he do that, you know? But I ain't gonna lie, like, my vision, when we go anywhere, we could be at my grandma's house barbecue, my daddy not eating off no plastic plate. Like, he'll be the only nigga outside at my grandma's backyard with a glass plate. Like, so when I got older, my nigga gotta have a glass plate. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was mirroring shit. You know, I don't want my nigga touching no dishes, because my daddy ain't touch no dishes. No nigga of mine finna touch no dishes, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I saw things that I'm like, well, my mom do this for my daddy, but I know the stuff my daddy do for my mama too. You know, so I wonder, like, if that's the stuff we want, if we gonna submit. Like, I saw this, that's what I'm gonna submit to. Like, my daddy pay bills and my daddy do nothing. My mama done gotta ask me nothing, I'm good.
Yeah.
So in my vision of me being
submissive, same.
Is he gonna do the same thing?
Same. Like, I literally look at my mom and my dad, and I'm just like, all the shit that my dad did, like my mother cooked, and she cooked and cleaned. And I can literally say wholeheartedly right now with proof, she only did it because that's how she was raised. Right. But if she was not raised that way and she did not have to do that shit, she would not have did it. Right. My mother was spoiled rotten by her marriage.
Do you feel like submission is like a one-sided thing?
No, men submit too.
How?
Emotionally.
Okay.
That's about the only way that counts in regards to a man submitting.
I think it's more than emotional.
What else?
It's like this. Like, I'm going to take the example, like, of just submission, right? Like, fuck the relationship shit, fuck the romantic shit, right? Because I'm a logical thinker, so I don't like to tie everything to, like, romance and love and shit. So just look at, like, submission and what it truly is. Like, you got a dog?
No.
You don't have a dog? No, you ever had a dog? Y'all ever had a dog?
Yeah.
So, like, if you got a dog, right, whether you get the dog when it's a baby or when you get it when it's an adult, when you first get the dog, it's not going to do what you say, right? You got to feed the dog. You got to pet the dog. You got to show the dog you love the dog. And then eventually the dog will do what you want it to do. But if you starve the dog, it's going to buck up at you. You get what I'm saying? Like, the minute you stop giving the dog what it wants, it's going to... So it's like, who submitted first? Like, you had to give the dog everything the dog wanted for the dog to give you what you want, right? So I feel like no matter what the situation is, you know, the person that's that's the leader has to submit first. So I feel like as a man, like, I'm out here wilding out. I'm out here running. If I'm single, right? I'm single, so I'm out here wilding out. I'm out here. I'm in the streets. I'm in the club, and I'm doing whatever I'm doing. Like, in order for you to submit to me, I got to stop doing that shit. I got to come in the crib. I got to show you that you're the only one. I got to do X, Y, Z for you to then submit to me. So I'm submitting to you first. Because I don't want to stop fucking bitches. Like, really.
I mean, but if you don't want to, you wouldn't do it. If you want to be submit.
In the perfect world, a nigga will have the woman he love and fuck as many bitches as he want. In the perfect world. So we making a compromise. We saying that, like, fucking with you is worth giving up all of this, right? That's the submission that men do.
Okay.
So coming in the crib on time, you know what I'm saying? Make like showing you how invested they are in you, for you to also show how invested you are. I feel like men have to submit first. You know what I'm saying? But we don't like to call it that. We like to call it like, I put my jersey up. That's what we like to say. I put my jersey up. It's over with.
I think a man submitting looks more like you considering my opinion and my thoughts when you make a decision. Like you not unilaterally making a decision for our lives without consulting me too. Like when you say like, I'm finna make a decision, and you be like, all right, babe, what you think about this? Like, you know, you run shit past me too. You make the decision and you drive the train, but you be like, hey, this look a little dark over here. What you think? You don't just be like, fuck it, I'm gonna go left because I said left. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like our lives. So you like, we gonna make the decision, but I'm gonna go first. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that, to me, that's what it look like when
I agree.
kind of submit to. Like, you know, you count in this situation in our relationship. Like, we got a partnership.
I don't have dings on no more. I don't have no more dings. But I fuck with that. I agree with that 100%. I definitely think, because you know, I do think men should make the final decision, and I think men should initiate everything in a relationship, whether it be, you know, whatever change you want to see in your girl. If your girl doing some shit that you don't like, I feel like you should show behavior that's the opposite first, and then ask her to fix that shit. So I think niggas should initiate everything, and definitely, like, you know, consider your girl opinion. Don't never base what you do off of her opinion, but definitely consider.
But I think that's why in the example you brought up, that's why Shorty got mad. Like, that's why the submission button clicked off, because it was like,
who was Shorty? Which song?
You explained in the beginning about the guy, he cooking, it took off, and his girl, but she was making money first, and when he got big, he was just like, let me teach you how to cook. But he didn't even consider her shit, but she was the breadwinner first. I think that lack of consideration on her end, like, you didn't say, like, hey, babe, what you think about us both cooking? And then you can see, like, you do lashes wherever we go. Let's travel. You know what I'm saying? You do lashes. All bitches need their lashes done. You didn't consider shit. You just said, let me give you a motherfucking apron and some dishwater, and you do the fuck I need you to do for my business. You said, fuck her shit. That's why I feel like that submission button go off, because you didn't consider me. So now it's like, if I'm looking out for you, if I always care about you, and you always care about me, we good. But the day you think about you and I'm thinking about you and nobody got me, that was fuck you. Because like, what? Like, I was making money first. Yeah. Now you get some bread, little boy. And now you
little boy.
You want to be the superior one?
That's facts.
And I was rocking with you, you know? We was rocking off my money, and now you get money.
And I was cool with that. And I was cool with that, and that's a lie.
Yeah. But if you had to consider my lash business and said, like, hey, if you help me, we could go big, and then you could do your lashes, you know, as appointments come, because they not as prevalent around the world, and when they are, go get you. Then I would have been like, hell yeah, let's go big, baby. Yeah. But you told me to sit the fuck down and put an apron on in your kitchen, like, it don't. You just turn my submission off. It's there, but the button is off all the time, because we're not being considered.
Absolutely. I agree with that. I didn't look at it like that. We don't have a ding anymore. Like, we just don't.
I don't know what happened. Look, I don't know.
Go ahead.
Should this happen? I was gonna say real quick, just to piggyback.
Yeah.
Like, two perfect examples. So Dirk was just talking to Gillian Wallow a couple weeks ago.
Fact.
He said one of the things that India told him when he was like about to get back on, was like, he had 70 niggas in the crib with him, and they thugging it. And she told him, like, I'm not trying to come between y'all, but you can't have your girl, your better half in here looking like this. And he said that's the minute he decided he needed to buy a house, because he submits to her in that notion, like, behaviorally, women are, by and large, better nurturers than men, or they're capable in that. And because we have to trust them in nurturing the home, the kids, whatever the situation, me, you know what I'm saying, as your partner, I got to trust and submit to your expertise in that regard in order for this to work. Another example, by and large, more women than men are in the education system. The teachers, the principals, not damn near now like the deans of the school. So the students that they're educating have to submit to their expertise, have to submit to their education, rather than being aggressive, because they hold the information, they holding the knowledge in order to make people better. So I was just piggyback off of what y'all was talking about.
Absolutely.
What? I'm dead.
Facts. We ain't gonna go there with India and her bodies. Today,
Okay.
man. Y'all say if she got three, right? That's what it is.
I don't even want to talk about it.
That's what he said.
I don't even want to talk about it, child.
All right, let's do some promo, man. Toyboxny.com. You got some shit off Toybox lately?
Not yet, but
You still
I
ain't got some shit off Toybox?
No, I
What you
haven't.
trying to grab?
I'm honestly looking at the bondage. Like, I really want to see what that's about. So,
Which bondage item?
there's like little cute cuffs,
This y'all chance.
and they're like behind, like they're cute as shit, and I want to see what they like.
This y'all chance. Niggas go on toyboxandride.com. Surprise
You think
cam
I'm finna
pop up
let
to
any
the show.
nigga tie me up? Like, don't be weird.
No,
don't
I'm
be
saying
weird.
they could just
Don't be weird.
they could just pop up with a
I've been
gift.
looking for you. You sexy. Let me tie you up.
No, I ain't saying
You
they gotta
said
tie
you
you
want to
up.
be
They could
tied
just
up.
give you the gift.
No, I don't want a nigga to gift me bondage either. Like,
No?
no,
Okay.
no, thank
My
you.
bad.
Not a
That's
nigga
what
I'm
you
not fucking. What the fuck? You give me some bondage.
You
What's
go fuck your nigga.
what's the fucking message behind this? Like,
I was
See
just
you on
trying to.
Wednesday.
no,
and I
thank
wanna
you. Don't
tie you
listen to
up.
Terry. He gonna get y'all last shot.
I was just
All
trying to
right.
help you accomplish your mission, man.
Thank
My
you.
bad.
Appreciate it.
All right. So what can a man do to show action wise to show that he's worth submitting to? I think you kind of answered this earlier though.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, just consistency, being honest, leading, like being able to protect. Like that's really it. Like also like being in touch with your emotions. I feel like for a woman, because we're super emotional, it's rare for a man to be in touch with his emotions, but I think that is important for a woman. And a man who's in
What
touch
do that
with
look like?
his
A man
emotions.
being in touch with his emotions. What do that
Just
look like?
not trying to hold back, like just
Give me an
expressing
example
himself.
of a nigga like that we all know. Like, is Will Smith in touch with his emotions? I think
he
is.
cried on the red table talk. Like, stop playing. He's definitely in touch with his
Because that's the
emotions.
first person. Y'all think he in touch with his emotions?
Yes.
I think he understands his emotions.
Yes,
Nah.
I do.
He in touch with his shit. Enough to communicate.
Yeah,
properly.
exactly.
I think that's what it's more about. Because I feel
Communication.
like we ask as women, we ask as
Oh,
we we ask as women, to be more, emotional and stuff. And then I read on this thing that the Justin LaBoy, he posted like, I just want to be in my femininity and let a man lead. But everybody in the comments was like, yeah, he want to lead, but he want to be effeminate. Like he feminine. He want to be a girl. He want to wear lip gloss. I'm like, they want to get into their femininity. And I'm like, wait, y'all want them to be emotional or not? Like, there's a balance of.
because emotional is femininity. Like
Yeah,
that
but,
is
but
like.
you can still be assertive. And
No, of course, but still, like the women that are saying like, "Oh, show your emotions," but then saying like, "Oh, you want to wear lip gloss," like. A man showing his emotions is definitely being in touch with his femininity.
Yeah,
Like
it is, and there's nothing wrong with it though. I think
it's
the
not.
construct is
It's not.
messed
But
up,
that's
at
why
least.
they aren't, because of women that are sitting here talking about, oh, you want some lip gloss too, like But women want men to be emotional, but they don't see it as what it really is.
A man being in his emotions is not feminine. We are fucking human beings, bro.
No.
And that feminine being in your how is that feminine energy? That's human nature energy.
We did not say having emotions. We're speaking on being emotional.
So what does that mean?
There,
I have
every
emotions.
human being, every human being has emotions.
Okay.
But men who are emotional, like a lot of men, do not know how to express their feelings. Don't sit here in front of this mic.
I'm not saysaying that we all do, but if a man does, and if a man
that's what I'm
is
talking about.
emotional, that makes it like feminine energy, though.
So I think that this was what it is though, because I feel what you're trying to say, and they not saying it like that though.
Right.
So I
like,
think what they saying is this: every person has masculine and feminine energy. Like every person, right?
sure.
It's a positive and negative. So just like when a woman is like aggressive, that's like masculine energy. It's
Thank
not
you.
saying that she like overall a masculine person. It's just that at this moment she tapping into that masculine energy to be aggressive. You know what I'm saying? So I think that they saying like in the moment when you being emotional, you tapping into the feminine side. Like not that you a feminine nigga, It's just that that's just a feminine.
Y'all always
thing.
tie emotions to
I
us.
think
Now it's wrong.
It's
Y'all
just a
say we're
trigger
not
word.
logical. We're emotional. Now I'm saying that that's feminine energy and it's wrong now.
I think it's just a trigger word, like submission to women. It's just a trigger word.
No,
like,
feminine is the
Check me out.
feminine is the
So
trigger.
wait, you
that's what I'm
just
saying.
said-
I agree.
Yeah, like
You just said being aggressive is a masculine thing.
Right.
I guess I just don't even. If a chick aggressive, she aggressive. I don't even be thinking. I don't even view it as that. I'm just like, that's who this bitch is. Like,
Okay,
I never connected it to her being her. That's her masculinity.
you're
side.
literally
I
like
never-
1 out of 8 people that wouldn't consider that to be
I
masculine.
don't know. I just be.
Shit, let me hit my boy with a stat though.
Shit just be natural to me. Shit just however you are. I feel like that's the way you want to be, or that's the way you just been. So I never really attach like because I know some emotional ass niggas.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's just them. I don't even look at them as
They
being
are
feminine.
really in
It's just
touch
like,
with their feminine energy. Like,
Yeah.
Damn.
But it's
That's
good
what
that
it
you're
is.
not looking at it like this nigga feminine. Cause I don't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
facts.
just that, that's what
that's what it is.
that's where that side come from. That's all. We all got both sides, so it's all good. But yeah, niggas gotta tap into that sometime, man.
Definitely.
But I can't really, I don't really blame women for being like masculine and shit. Cause I feel like the environment we live in kind of
It
requires
requires it, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like just shit.
Yep, I agree. It requires it for sure.
If you had to take the bus to high school, your ass had to tap into some magical energy in the
Absolutely.
city.
Almost
Like,
daily. Look, almost
look.
daily. Almost every day. Almost
tryna-
every day your ass had to
You trying to get from the car
pretend
to
to
the
be tougher than you was for
if you
real.
trying to
like,
get from the car to the inside of the gas station, you got to tap into
man.
some masculine energy. All right, what role does money play in submission? Like a woman being submissive to a man. Oh shit, a man being submissive to a woman. What role does money play in that? Do the breadwinner get to be the dominant and the other person be the submissive, or is it just the male should be the dominant?
Yeah, I feel like it could be situational, but at the same time, I feel like not really too. Because I feel like as a woman, if you're truly a woman who is looking for someone to lead, that means all across the board. So that's emotionally, that's spiritually, that's mentally, that's financially. So of course, financially is honestly the biggest burden, like for most people. Mentally is probably next. They might be a tie. I don't know. But financial is a burden for everyone who is not wealthy, period,
Facts.
off the rip. So if a man is coming with, like, I can take care of this financially and we can work on all the other shit, like whatever, that, of course, is going to probably, flick a switch for a woman that needs that kind of support.
Right.
So I do think that would make a difference.
Okay, so if a nigga he got a bag, be a bitch ass nigga, you still submitting to him?
No. No.
But if a nigga don't got a bag, but he a solid nigga, are you submitting to him?
Yes, that might be the case. Like, money is not like, oh my God, everything.
I don't think it make a difference at all.
It may, it depends on the woman. It may
I
be
think
a green
any
light.
chick that come across a nigga that got a bag and he a sucker, I don't give a fuck what woman it is. She's running that nigga over.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know. It depends on the woman though. I couldn't waste my
Did
time.
you say if he not cute?
Yeah, I couldn't waste my time. But I know a lot
ain't
of
even
women who
going
do.
that far. I'm saying
I know a lot of women
attractive,
who could do
not
that,
attractive, whatever. If a nigga just not,
And
if he don't have a
lame,
backbone,
and
you're running the
yeah,
nigga
I
over.
know
No
a lot
matter
of
how
women who
good he look,
would.
no matter how much
Yeah.
money he got. Oh, okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
that's what, yeah.
But I mean, I know plenty of women that would do what you said.
We'll do what?
Run over his ass.
Yeah, facts. Any
by all
woman.
means.
Any
for
woman.
sure.
Any
Bulldozer.
Yeah, I was like,
Like bulldozer, like,
you not
yeah.
gonna submit to a broke nigga, and I mean that in like mentality, because I feel like there's some guys who like, well, I don't know, they have enough to do what they need to do, but they not like overzealous in their money. They don't need to be flashy and shit. But he a man, like you could still like, this is a man. You know what I'm saying? Like he might not need Gucci and all this stuff, but he handle the house and we good. And when he say something, I'll listen.
Yeah.
Versus like a fuck boy, like, and you just got money. You
Yeah.
could pay for everything and you could run stuff.
But
you got
that's it.
business and shit, but you ain't shit. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not being.
Nope.
Yeah, I've also seen a lot of women submit to niggas who not like, I mean, not even financially good. Like I say, we grown, but we kind of just got grown. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of people that still figuring shit out. But even niggas who not trying to figure shit out, I've seen women submit to that just based on shit that they've been through in their past and what they need. So if this nigga gonna make her feel safe physically, that might just be enough for her.
Yeah.
That nigga could fuck her and sleep on her couch.
You
and
know
she
what?
gonna be cool
And
with
that
that.
is crazy
because
that you say
can't
that.
nobody say nothing crazy to her.
It's
he gonna
crazy
go upset.
that
You know
you
what I'm
say
saying?
because
he gonna send shit up.
It has a lot to do with like the past experiences. Because,
what she looking for? Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, your past experiences teach you what you're looking for along the way. Like as you go on and you date different people and people do certain shit that you realize you're not okay with and you didn't know that before because no one's ever done that. Or shit that you actually like that you didn't realize you liked before because no one's ever introduced that to you. Yeah. So it's the same shit. Like when I get to this point, like I can't
I got an auntie like
go
that.
without
Who, like,
that. Like that's required.
She married a nigga who like financially he ain't, and they older, but he ain't never been on shit financially. He ain't never really been able to
And
contribute.
she in love.
But any nigga say anything to her, any of the kids, anybody in the family, he sending shit up. He at the school. It could be a second grader. He up there. He done smack a kid for a motherfucker, and she love that nigga. And that's what she looking. You know what I'm saying?
Like it depends for real.
That's what it is.
It's crazy. That's crazy.
Everybody watching right now, we need y'all to share it live, man. Share it live on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. I appreciate y'all tuning in. We gotta share it live. All right, does submitting weigh more on financial or emotional? Like which one matters more? Whether you're financially secure or emotionally secure. Emotional. Definitely.
Off the rip. Yeah.
What y'all say?
I say emotional.
Yeah.
Emotional.
Me being me.
Yeah. Right. Like yeah. Not the laugh, financial.
Cause I am more submissive though, so I want to know. Go ahead, what you think?
Financial. I told you what she think. That was a laugh.
I mean,
You gotta get in the mic though.
I kind of think it's equal, but if I would say like one matters, for me, I wouldn't say one matters more because it's like I'm like an all or nothing person, so it's like. Either gonna give me like everything I want and it's gonna be like I'm gonna give you everything you want, or we might as well not do it because I'm gonna have a problem.
Right.
Okay.
Tourist, you think? If you had to guess? I think so. All right. I'll bet my last dollar on it. Do you think do you submit before a relationship or is it a relationship luxury?
It's definitely a relationship luxury. Okay. But, I mean, you know what? No, I take that back because it's fucking situational. Everything with submission is fucking situational because maybe I don't want to fucking be in a relationship. And I really like this nigga. And we've been fucking for a minute.
You gonna submit to him?
You're worth submitting to.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we may not want to be in a relationship.
Your DM finna be
but that's not going to... Shut your ass up. I'm finna change my name on Instagram. But that's not going to keep me from being like... Oh damn! I can't really fuck him like I want because like we're not in a relationship. Like no, like I don't want to be in a relationship, but we vibe. Like we getting it. The sex is great. Like da da da.
It sounds like a relationship.
It
sounds like a relationship that you're not calling a relationship.
But it's not. But it's not.
What
like
makes
that's
it
just
not?
The bottom line. It's not. We're not in a relationship. You're not my boyfriend. I'm not your girlfriend. We're not in a relationship.
So we seeing
I
other
don't give a fuck
people.
what we doing? I don't care about that.
Okay.
This is what we doing.
Hey Ken, what you got in that gallon thing right there?
It's just water. It's dark, but it's chlorophyll. Stay healthy. Yes.
Absolutely.
No killer cocks around the clock today.
No killer cocks around the clock, man. Cam's Corner.
Camp's Corner. I mean, always sticking to the topic. I really honestly don't have much to say. Just some slight advice for my women. Figure out if a man is worth submitting to. A lot of them are not. But you really just got to read the situation. Honestly, like, realize the things that you want. 80. Realize the things that you want and make sure that that nigga is providing those things before you dare submit. Because, I mean, like I said, submission is powerful. So to actually submit to a nigga, like, you might as well get on your knees. So it's like doing that, it's all across the board. So it's emotionally, it's mentally, and it's physically. So, like, make sure that nigga is worth it because it's a lot. And once you gotta make sure he worth it because once you submit and you realize that nigga not worth it, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. And even if don't nobody else know that you did it, you and him know. And he walking around with that shit and you know, and you like, oh my God, I could just literally shoot myself. Like, wow, I submitted to that nigga and he's really a fucking cornball. Like, God damn, like you regret it. So just, check out the signs. Like, make sure. Niggas.
Shout out to all the niggas tricking bitches. But go ahead, Cam. I ain't mean to step on you.
I hate when niggas pull up on my block trying to sell they fucking oils, body oils, and lotions and shit. Relax. Socks.
I got porn
Like,
DVDs.
relax. Anyways, niggas, like, if you want, like, women to submit to you, I mean, you gotta be something worth submitting to. So, like, can you lead? And I just feel like that's the first thing that you need to figure out, because I'm not following anyone that's not taking me the right way. Like, that would be I can find my own way if that's the case. But if you want a woman to submit to you, like, you have to be prepared to hold that power, be able to lead, hold her down emotionally, be putting shit down physically. I mean, like, relate to her mentally and spiritually. Like, that just depends on y'all, whatever vibe y'all got. It's a lot of shit that can be spiritually different. There's a broad spectrum. So. But other than that, like, you know, be worthy of that shit before you asking a bitch to submit and you know that you are trash. Like, that's the most irritating thing. Women, be smart, because I literally just had a situation, literally just this past weekend, where I heard a story about a young lady prior to meeting her. And of course, when you hear a story about somebody, you get this image in your head about how they may look or how they may act or how they may. I didn't expect to meet the young lady, but I did. By coincidence. And the way she looked did not match what I heard about her. Like, I was just flabbergasted because she was so fucking bad. She was so fine from top to motherfucking bottom. And I was just like, how you let this nigga do that to you? Like, it's the voodoo, though. It's a light-skinned voodoo. But anyway, it don't. But still, like, you still look at a bitch and you will hope that a bitch is cocky enough in herself. It don't matter about if she fine, how you thinking about it. Like, yeah, you fine, but bitch, you stupid. I don't give a fuck about that. I'm talking about self-confidence. How you feel about yourself. Like, I would want her to look in the mirror and know she fine as fuck and not let this nigga do her that way. But a lot of bitches just ain't got it. Like they said, the girls that get it, get it. And you feel what I'm saying? It just, I wish you said that shit in the mic. Can you pass him? Can you say that? Can you do? Can you?
School, man.
Can you?
School.
Can you? Yeah. Look, yeah. Sorry, but so, and like, but we 30. Like, get out the street. You touching 30.
Yeah.
That's a late
But you gotta go through shit though.
It's fucked up.
Like,
but I was just saying that to say, like,
Yeah. Absolutely.
like, damn. So,
baby.
yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. So yeah, just closing out. I definitely think that women will submit to a nigga. I think women, like, low key want to submit to a nigga. You see a lot of even though we hear a lot of bullshit on the internet about submission, you do see a lot of these posts where women are saying, like, I want a nigga to lead and just relax in my femininity and shit like that. So we hear this cliche ass shit, but we never talk
And
about
there's a lot
how
of
it look
women
in real
posting that
life.
shit that don't.
It's a lot of women posting that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And but I feel like, you know, for women to submit, I think a lot of women want to do that. I just think that, you know, as niggas, we definitely gotta be leading our own life in the right direction.
Yeah.
For a chick to trust us to lead
Yeah.
a relationship in the right direction.
how-
And I think that's what, you know what I'm saying, as niggas, we got to get that under control first, that we need to be focused on. So we need to stay in the streets, stay single, you feel me? Get our
Yes.
shit together first.
Yes.
Enjoy our time. And then, once we get
That
to
too,
that,
though.
Learn from the streets.
Learn from the streets.
yeah.
Then apply that knowledge.
And then get in this relationship. But when you're in that relationship, make sure you giving the gift that you have
Okay, Herb.
in that relationship in abundance. So what I mean by that is, like, for me, it's advice giving. That's what I'm good at. You know what I'm saying? For another nigga, it might be fixing shit.
Yeah,
For another nigga, it might be,
Yeah.
you know, paying for shit. Whatever the case may be. Like, whatever your gift is that you got to give that shit in abundance. And I think a woman will do whatever it is. Now, it is different, like, realms to submission. You got financial, of leadership. You have financial, you got spiritual and all that. 9 times out of 10, most niggas not hitting all those marks. I'm not hitting all those marks. Bitch gonna submit anyway. Look,
I'm screaming.
at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? If you're showing that you're invested in this situation, like, truly, thoroughly invested in the situation, and you're giving whatever gift you have in abundance to that situation, it's likely that a woman will see that. And
The
follow your
last
lead
thing,
in it.
I feel like the last thing that I have to say, submission is teachable. So I feel like he said, like, oh, I got this one thing, or somebody might have this one thing, and, like, a bitch submit to you because, like, you got this one thing. But, like, I feel like you could teach that person the other things along the way.
Yeah.
It's like, it's teachable. If a person is open to learning it's teachable. Like submission is a very teachable moment.
Yeah.
Whoever is dominant in the situation has to know though, like how to navigate that.
Absolutely.
But it's very teachable. So
absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's it for the day. All the Asian ladies in the back, they didn't say shit
they
the whole
didn't say
time.
shit. I wanted to hear their accent.
I ain't tell them to
They
talk.
didn't. You didn't.
I ain't
And
tell them
they
to talk.
didn't. They felt
And they
like
ain't say
I
shit.
can't say shit because that
Yeah.
nigga did not tell us to talk.
Yeah, absolutely.
Damn, they cute as hell though. All 12 of their ass.
It's 1,000,001 excuses for a nigga not to get it. If you a nigga looking for excuses, you'll always be able to find them. But over here, that shit is unacceptable.